From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Braden Neville.
On today's episode, Taylor Powell joins the show to discuss his offseason, his first season in the CFL, and how he plans on taking that next step in year two. Vice President of Ticketing and Hospitality for the Hamilton Sports Group, Will Kay, joins the show to tell us all about how the Ticats are honoring their season ticket holders in a big way. And the CFL Combine gets underway with some popular events. It's Thursday, March 21st, 2024, and this is Ticats Today. Lots to get to on today's show, including quarterback Taylor Powell, the man that came out of nowhere last season after QBs Bo Levi Mitchell and Matthew Schultz went down with injury. He stepped in and made an immediate impact, helping lead the Ticats to the playoffs when a lot of people had lost hope at that point in the season. Taylor finished the season with 2,283 passing yards, 197 completions, and 10 touchdown passes. His first throw being a touchdown pass to Tim White, and made his name known as a true rookie in the CFL. And he joins me now. Taylor, good to finally have you on the show this offseason, man. How you been doing?
Man, life's good. Nice to be on the show. Heard a lot about it, and off-season's been good. I'm freaking ready to play some football, though. I'll say that.
I've been looking at the posts. I've been seeing a lot of golf posts. I got to admit, the swing looks pretty butter, man. It looks nice.
Yeah. Not really a big guy on posting, like, football.
Yeah.
Because I do it for a living. But, once you get all your football done for about 5 hours of the day, you got a good amount of time. And, I'd like to pride myself on being a decent golfer. So I like to get out there and get better at it.
What's the handicap?
About a 6 or 7.
Okay,
right now.
that's pretty good. So would you say, I know this has been an ongoing argument, would you say you got Bo Levi Mitchell beat or what?
Yeah, he hasn't beat me yet.
So what's the season series at between you two?
A lot to a little.
It's one of those things too. I've been watching, like I followed you on Instagram. I've been looking at the swing. I'm like, man, this guy, if he wanted to, he could maybe give a run at being a golfer, but I'm glad you're a football player.
No way.
You're out in Arkansas for the off season?
Yeah. So I spend 3 weeks a month here training, and then I'd spend a week in Birmingham, Alabama with my quarterback trainer.
Okay. So what are you doing for training wise when you're home?
I try to structure each day as it is during the season. So it's not a big schedule change. So, whether mornings are working out and watching film and then throwing like a practice, 10:30 or 11 a.m. That's kind of when I throw. And then I started a quarterback training business for my off season. And
Nice.
whenever those kids get out of school, I train them, throw with them at 5 p.m. So once I'm done with football around 1, I go play 18. Then I go coach quarterbacks. That's kind of it.
What's it like being a coach? Do you like it?
I love it, man. Yeah. Especially the population of Arkansas quarterbacks is not very represented in the quarterback development. Now we've had, quarterbacks go pro and stuff from this state, but not as many as they should.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find a way to, be a resource to these guys as a guy that's played in the NFL and the CFL, just be able to help them out, and give back, because I didn't have that growing up, and I wanted to share my story and let them be vulnerable and give them high quality coaching too.
What's the age group of these kids?
I got all the way from 7th grade to 24 years old.
Nice. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And when you're out in Alabama, what are you doing? You said your quarterback's coach is out there?
So that's my quarterback trainer personally that I used for draft prep last year. He is unbelievable, knows my biomechanics, my body, my mechanics, how I'm mentally wired, all that stuff. So whenever I go down there for a week, I feel like every time I stack weeks of preparation, and I feel like every time I go up there, I just take another exponential leap. Especially with his name's Ben Neal.
Yeah.
Look him up, Ben Neal, QB Country, Birmingham. think he's the best in the country. So
it's good to see you're not only are you playing golf, you're actually still training, Taylor. You're just not putting it on social media.
Believe it or not, I do. Yeah, I hear you. I'm definitely working my ass off, man. I want to be embarrassed of last year's version of Taylor Powell, just, as a human being, as a player. I just want to be every single day getting better, and I feel like I am. Don't let it fool you that I'm not like posting every time I work out like some guys.
You had a season last year that a rookie would dream of in the CFL, but you mentioned you want to be embarrassed of it. Is it your mindset going into this year that you want to be much better than you were in that first year?
Yeah. That's a good question. I definitely want to, like, the whole embarrassed part became a thing kind of when I started off season around New Year's with Marcellus Bowman, our strength coach. And just like this year, I didn't want to leave anything on the table. Like, I've been through my first pro season. I know what a season's like, I know what to do, what not to do, what I can take out, what I can add to being the best quarterback I can be for Hamilton. So just becoming more aware, man. Yeah. Just like that's kind of where I'm trying to take this next step is what am I leaving on the table with whatever habits I have in preparation, and you know what I mean? Just like I was doing the math. I think there's 150 professional quarterbacks in the world.
Yeah. That's
like three. And so it's like, if I want to be the best I can be, there's not a lot of margin for error in your daily habits and your execution and your playing. So just, I want to be the best Taylor Powell I can be. And hopefully that's, hoisting a Grey Cup at the end of the year.
You just want to chop wood and carry water, right?
That's really it. And I don't know. I guess it's kind of become like my adopted saying or something.
Your slogan, man. I love it. I love it.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. Everybody. I don't know if I could swear on this or anything.
You can do what you want, man.
My buddies give me so much crap and my whatever. And I'm like, dude, I'm the same person on camera and off.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's just who I am. And Bo gives me so much crap too. You're such a nerd and book snob. So.
I can attest that you are the same guy on camera as you are off camera, because I talk to you a lot more off camera than on camera. I want to dive into your first year a little bit in the CFL. And one of those guys who's going to be coming back this season is Tim White, a guy that it seemed like you and him were just connected right from that first throw. But how do you feel about getting Tim back and working with him last year?
So Tim and I kind of had this weird connection. Like when I got to camp, it was strange. Like things like second day, he came up to me and was like, it's super nice, like veteran coming up to a rookie or whatever. Just like introduced himself, like said he liked how I played and how I liked how I threw. And, that was kind of it.
Yeah.
And then like day 4 or whatever, he comes up to me and he goes, no, that's not how. So like I walked up to him, he made like a big catch, like Matterbo threw it to him in practice.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're a savage, like you're a savage. And then like I went in with the twos or something, made a play, whatever. And he screams out, baby savage, baby savage. So like, if you see like on his comments or stuff on my stuff or whatever, that's kind of our thing is savage and baby savage. I don't know where that comes from, but
baby savage,
baby savage is what he calls me. I don't know why, but anyways, Tim is one of the coolest dudes, one of the best receivers I ever played with. And it just makes your job so easy is like, that like people fear him, you know what I mean? Like when he's out there, like you got to cover Tim White. And just what Scott was doing with him last year, formationally, concept wise, it's just, it's hard not to have a connection with Tim. You know what I mean? I think any quarterback would.
Yeah.
But really more importantly, like off the field, I think that's what was most important was like that locker room last year, especially with the receivers, was such a tight group. Like Terry, Omar, Key, Tim, all those guys, man. I just felt so close with. Like we'd get dinner, we always had these inside jokes, like the sauna sessions we'd have, just being so like weird with each other. And, I don't know. I just love playing with those guys, and, they're my brothers, first of all. So
When I was talking to Tim about a month ago, he mentioned the Baby Savage nickname.
did he?
Yeah, he did. And
All right.
we were saying he doesn't know if he can call you Baby Savage anymore. So I mentioned maybe Sophomore Savage for this year.
Sure.
I mean,
let's do it.
I mean, it kind of has a ring to it, honestly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whatever Tim says goes. So
I want to talk about the guy that we've mentioned so much when we mention your name, and that's Bo Levi Mitchell, a guy that seems like you guys have become brothers over the last year. You're always together. Yeah. It seems like you're always having fun, poking fun at each other. But what's that relationship like with Bo?
Man, where do I start? I think Bo, is it weird that a guy's 10 years older than me can be like my best friend?
No,
I don't think so. I've never had like a friendship accelerate at this rate. Maybe it's because we were with each other 18 hours a day for 6 months.
Might have something to do with it.
Yeah, but he is, talk about a crappy hand the last 2 years he's been dealt with.
Yeah.
And not deserving of that at all. Hall of Fame quarterback, gajillion passing yards, 2 Grey Cups.
Legend.
And he's, legend, right? Walk-in Hall of Fame, top 3 quarterback of all time. That guy is the most humble, selfless person. He cares so much about his teammates. It's hard not to get emotional talking about it because he's just such a great person.
Yeah.
Great quarterback, first of all. One of my best friends. He's been an absolute joy to learn from. And just like, dude, I'm like a sponge just trying to learn from him every day. Like, I was like, I don't even remember what it was. We were talking like in 2015 or something. I was like, dude, I was like a sophomore in high school. And you're just absolutely shredding defenses.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, like, tell me like what you're thinking here. Like how does this CFL PA work? And I was like, I'm not afraid to ask like dumb questions and stuff. I didn't know.
You're a rookie. I mean, most people wouldn't, right?
Right. I didn't know what was going on last year. So like, dude, he would help me out with like food and all this stuff. Like if I needed a place to stay, like I lived with him for a week last year. Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably rambling too much about Bo, but you
can never ramble too much about Bo Levi
No,
Mitchell.
You can't. He's a freaking man. He would help me out with anything at the drop of a hat. He's a brother, man.
What's aside from that, what's the banter like between you two? What's the funniest prank one of you guys have pulled on each other? Because it seems like you guys are always messing around with each other. You can really tell the brotherhood is there. You know what I mean? There's always stuff going on.
I don't know what I can and can't say. So every day 4 of the week, we would do. I kind of started this thing. Like we would do like a coffee.
Yeah.
Like I would one morning I was like, I'm gonna be a good rookie. I'm gonna bring the veteran quarterbacks some coffee and breakfast.
4 for you, 1 for them, right?
Right, exactly. So they started to become stupid. Matt and Bo freaking started to become ungrateful. They're like, hey, where's the dadgum coffee and breakfast every day 4?
Oh man.
I was like, all right, well you guys can bring it. No, all right. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna play a prank. So I don't even know if Bo knows this. One time, he's not a big coffee drinker; he's an energy drinker.
Yeah.
I was like, you're gonna drink this latte. I got him a 6-shot latte, 6 shots of espresso.
That's insane.
And put 6 shots of espresso in it with the lady, and I just remember I'm like, he didn't drink it, of course.
Yeah.
Like he drank like 1 sip, and like he'd always do that every time. He'd bring him a coffee, he wouldn't drink any of it.
Yeah.
But that was kind of the only prank I did because I couldn't really mess with the franchise quarterback or anything.
It's a good thing you didn't drink the 6-shot coffee before practice, or else he would have been taking a.
Well, it was gonna be before the a walkthrough.
Okay.
So it would have been like
not quite as
having to spit out like a 20 word play, like just stuttering and all that.
Just has the jitters out there with the boys.
Yeah, that's what I was wanting to accomplish, but I didn't. no, like I'm gonna need to like put a laxative in his coffee or something next year.
I hope he's not listening to this so we don't spoil the prank. But
Yeah,
another funny group on your team, and a group that's so important to you and the success of this offense, is that offensive line. But what was
yeah,
it
baby.
like getting to know all those guys and getting to know their personalities on that O-line this year?
Oh man, I'll give you a good story
Perfect.
that just kind of summarizes the O line and me. It's probably bad I'm sharing this. I don't really care. So we're in the preseason against Toronto, and like Matt like tweaked his groin in camp, and Bo wasn't going to play the full game. Obviously,
Yeah.
play like first drive. So like I'm like playing the whole game, and we get to like the fourth drive or something, and we're in the red zone. Like we're driving it, whatever. And and David, so it was David, Rev, Woody, and I think Kemp.
Yeah.
And maybe Fig was in. I don't remember. It was like a 2nd and 8, and David goes, "Hey, can we go on 2 one time?" It's like the 15th play or whatever. And I go. How do we get? I don't know how to go on 2. Do we go on 2? How do we go on 2? He goes, "Just stay on 1." So that was kind of like my welcome to CFL moment, I guess. It was like, I got to tell this 35-year-old man who's 10 years older than me, whatever the older they are, the vet, what we're doing.
Yeah.
So no, but they became some of my closest friends besides quarterback room. Like the wings we would have, like we would go to like Woody's cottage.
Yeah.
All that stuff, man. Just the dinners and the camaraderie. I got to know their wives and their kids. Just like pouring into them as people is just really special to me. Just making sure like they know, like, dude, like if football is removed, like, like I want you at my wedding, like that sort of thing. Like, that sort of thing. Like, brothers. I don't really care. Yeah. I don't really care if this might sound bad. I don't really care. Like if football works out, I want you to know, like, you have me as a friend.
For sure. No, that makes sense.
I don't know. That's just kind of how it worked last year. It doesn't happen everywhere, man. It's just a special group, that O-line room. And especially with Gibby.
Yeah, Gibby's a legend. He was on the show a couple of days ago. Legend.
I freaking love Gibby. That's my guy.
His stories, man. He's got like, I don't even remember how many years, like 40, 30. I don't want to age him, so I don't know the number, but I could have talked to him for about 6 hours. We could have had the longest podcast ever, because I think he's coached 13 different teams since 1979. He's one of those guys. He's just a sponge of the game, obviously being a coach. So it was crazy getting to talk to him. One moment I want to ask you about, and it came when you were playing at Tim Hortons Field. Your parents were at the game, if you can remember that. Yeah. And TSN was showing them the whole game. They were getting their camera time, and it was one of your best. Was that your first start at Tim Hortons Field?
That was my first start,
yeah. And I want to talk about that moment and getting to experience that and seeing your family and how proud they were of you of that game.
Yeah, that's hard to not get emotional about. So I think I don't know when I found out I was starting. Well, I mean, maybe early in the week.
Yeah.
I don't even think I told them until like Wednesday or Thursday, because like my dad was like, "Hey, like you haven't really talked to us much.
where are you?"
Like, well, like, yeah, where are you? And I'm like, well, I'm starting. Hope y'all can watch. And then I get a call the next day, and they're like, "Hey, we'll be there."
That's awesome.
And it's not cheap to get to
No.
Hamilton from Arkansas.
No, not
you know what I mean? And my dad has missed one game since 2nd grade.
Really? Wow. It's impressive.
And I've had a journey of a football career.
Yeah.
So my parents are my absolute rocks in my life. Their marriage, like I texted them, I wrote them like this little letter today. Just last night, I saw them like in the kitchen, just the most purest form of love and marriage, of just like how I want it to look like whenever I get married.
Yeah.
I wrote to them just how lucky I am to have the 2 best parents in the world, that exemplify an awesome marriage. They do anything for their 2 children. And, I'm just super grateful to have the two best parents in the world.
It was a super cool moment, man. I remember even watching it from the booth and seeing it in TSN, and I was almost getting emotional. So I can only imagine. What did they think of the whole experience of that Hamilton football, that crowd, and the atmosphere around the CFL?
I think my parents fit in kind of because they do get into it.
Yeah.
I think you can kind of see my dad say an expletive whenever I ran it in.
As a true father should.
Yeah. Just, a couple of fist pump. They blend in with those boys. For sure.
That's perfect. Scott Milanovich, a couple more questions before we go here, Taylor, but Scott Milanovich came in halfway through last year, and it seemed like you clicked well with what he was doing on that offense. But what was it like working with him, and now that you'll have him as an offensive coordinator and a head coach for a full season here?
I'm not sure I could have hit the jackpot any better.
Yeah.
As a quarterback, and having literally one of the best quarterback coaches, play callers of like ever.
Absolutely.
No, but first of all, like Scott, like cares about you as a human being first. I mean, he gets his persona. Like he is a hard coach to play for, but like he genuinely cares about you. Like he knew my family, he knew I had a girlfriend at the time, all that stuff. First of all, so he cared about you as a person, and he wanted to know me, and all that. And then he started formulating the offense kind of as we got rolling, like around my skill sets, and also like demanding like I do things. Like, and he pushed me personally. Like, I love how hard he pushed me. Like, I want to be coached hard.
Yeah.
And I want him to like bury me at practice and grade me freaking hard as hell, because that's what I want, to be great. And
of course.
I've just talked with Zach Caleros. I've talked to Trevor, all those guys, just about like what to do with him as your coach, and like the common theme is just shut up and just run the offense, man. Because the guy knows what he's doing. Do your freaking job, because it's going to work.
For sure.
So right now in off season, I'm just trying to basically be on autopilot with him, execute the offense, and also play athletically and instinctually and make a lot of plays this season.
Well, what does this team need to do to have a successful year next year? I know there's probably a lot of things you could say, but
I mean, I'm sure everybody's asking that question right now. I think it's going to be about a couple of things. It's only my second season doing it. But what I would say is the team that gets hot at the right time, probably. Mm-hmm. It's a long season, right? It's about like you can't have your eyes on the goal and have your eye on the journey at the same time. You can't have both. So we'll let everybody outside of the building care about hoisting the Grey Cup at the end, but like now we're just focused on freaking executing 7-on-7 second downs in camp, whatever that day is. So that's kind of what I think Scott's message will be. It'll be just, everybody sees the goal. We can talk about it. Then we can put it to bed, and let's just go to work at being the best team in the CFL and, being the best we can be. That's what I would say is the results are going to take care of themselves. Chop wood, carry water, and, let's see what happens at the end.
I love it, Taylor. Hey, I'm so glad you came on, man. It's so good to catch up with you. It's been a while, so it's nice to hear from you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you back at Ron Joyce for some training camp, man.
Let's do it, man. Look forward to seeing you.
That was Taylor Powell, and we're all ready to see what he can do in his second season in the CFL. The Ticats made an exciting announcement today, revealing their season seat holder wall of recognition that will honor Ticats season seat holders in a very special way. And here to tell us all about it is Vice President of Ticketing and Hospitality, Will Kay. Will, an exciting announcement today. The Hamilton Tiger Cats announcing the season seat holder wall of recognition. Will, do you mind explaining the wall of recognition for us?
Yeah, absolutely, Braden. Thanks for having me. And excitement is I think a little bit of an understatement. It's been a wild morning here with the launch, and the fans seem to be getting excited. And anything thinking about the season is good for us right now. But so the season seat holder wall of recognition is really a thank you. And what this is to all season seat holders involved in the 2024 season. They're going to have an opportunity to register their names, and not just their name, not just the account holder, but up to as many season seats as they have in their account, which can be friends, family, those who unfortunately may not be with us right now in a little bit of in memory. And it's going to be displayed outside of Gate 3, so the main entrance at Tim Hortons Field. So very excited to be able to have this piece of history that's going to stay there, similar to the legacy wall, which we introduced when we moved into Tim Hortons Field 10 years ago, which is the overall purpose of this. I can't believe it's already been a decade here.
It's crazy. And even seeing what the wall is going to look like, it looks like it's going to be pretty cool. How did this idea kind of come to life for you guys?
Yeah, so I think absolutely. The design's incredible. And I think we tried to, again, bring the team and the fans together, right? And that's kind of the representation of kind of the four stripes, which is obviously prominent on our jerseys. But I think we sat back a little bit after Grey Cup, and it's been a busy few years, and really looked at this 10-year and what can we do special for our fans to give back a little bit for the loyalty that they continue to show year over year. And then kind of this came to mind. Again, we had a program similar to this moving into the building. The response was phenomenal. It's still an area around the building at Tim Hortons Field we see people taking selfies in front of and pictures and looking for their names. So, it's really cool. And again, judging by the response this morning, it's been very well received. And it's just one element that we kind of want to roll out here with more news to come on some different things that are going to be happening during the 10th season.
And this is something that's likely going to be revealed for this season?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's all season seat holders are going to be involved here, right? So everyone's on some different timelines. The response, renewals, all that has been great. But we want to maximize this as best we can. So we traditionally stay on sale for season seats up to kind of the home opener and in and around that timeline. So, we want to have as many people involved in this program as possible. So we'll stay kind of available and open to that situation as long as we can, with then kind of compiling and some of the execution work behind the scenes. And then the goal will be probably more of a fall unveil, whether that be in and around a game day or an off game day, kind of still to be determined. But absolutely, you'll be able to find your name on the wall this season for sure.
For those of you who want to take a look, you can look on ticats.ca on socials. They're showing what the wall is going to look like. I'll also put it up on this video if you're watching on YouTube. But where did the design come from for this wall?
Well, I won't take credit for that. I think we work with a lot of good partners that we can provide some ideas to, and we've worked with them so they kind of know what the brand's all about, and what we were really trying to kind of conceptually tell them was really this was kind of about the fan. Right. And the togetherness of the names all in one spot. There was a few different concepts we looked at. Obviously, the main entrance, the Hall of Fame statue, like it really kind of is the point that we sometimes get lost in just the game days for Ticats. Right. Lots of things are happening at Tim Hortons Field 365. And this is going to be available for fans to see, whether someone's in from out of town and there happens to not be a game, or it's the off season, or whatever the situation may be. So I think it's a great addition to the building, and the fact that it's readily available to not only the fans that are going to be on there, but other fans that are coming in future game dates and things like that will be a pretty good spot for it.
I mean, it's so important to have these people, and these are people who have supported the team, a lot of them for many decades, for years. How important are these season seat holders for the success of this Ticats organization?
Yeah, listen, they're the most important. I mean, it's it kind of goes both ways. Without the team, there's not the fans. Without the fans, there's not the team, right? So we try to do the best we can to provide a great game day experience, but also really add value and provide different, unique opportunities to our season seat holders that some other teams maybe aren't doing, and that's not just in the CFL. That's kind of everywhere, right? So again, the response on these unique things and experiential items that we're able to provide is always overwhelming. And there's been a ton of amazing stories even this morning about, well, can I have my grandfather on it, or can I put my kid that's on the way? Of course you can, right? Like all of those things. So the flexibility around it and something that it's not just an in and out and it's going to last, I think is really kind of something that our fans continue to have. And the stories of 10 plus years, and whether you're 10 plus 20 years, 50 years, or 2 years, right? You're all a season seat holder, and everyone kind of takes pride in that in different ways. And when they all come together, it's going to be a really cool display and a cool project to work on.
Yeah, it's super, super cool, and a great way to thank the fans. In 10 years, it's crazy to think it's been 10 years at Tim Hortons Field. If someone's looking to get involved with this and want to be a part of the wall of recognition? How do they go about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So many of our fans thus far are already signed up for their season seats, and we thank them. And there's been information sent out that will continue to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to register and decide and maybe fight around the kitchen table whose names are going to land on there or not, or maybe expand that. But yeah, it starts with your season seats, and we kind of take it from there on the process of that. But yeah, availability is there, and our sales team and membership services team are always there to help to find a good opportunity that's going to make sense for everyone, and to be able to get involved starts there and really just finishes there.
And looking on social media, the response has been pretty great. But what have you seen from fans that are looking at this program?
Yeah, I think it's it's always just a cool surprise, right? I mean, a lot of work goes in behind the scenes on these things, and I think what happens in my tenure here, I think sometimes our fans, as they should, I mean, game days are the culmination of our years, right? Like that is our business, but there's lots of things that happen 365 here. So I think on a maybe not the most seasonal March 21st or week that we've had, to be able to get everyone to think about football and realize that we're a couple months away here and something to look forward to is just, it's really cool, right? It's the engagement in the off season for us in a time period that traditionally might not have the most newsworthy events going on. The response has been phenomenal, and registrations are flying right now, which is crazy.
That's great.
We're a few hours in, and everyone's already on board and looking to get signed up. So we're really excited to see how it all comes together.
Well, that's Ticats fans for you. It seems like they always have football on their mind. An exciting announcement and a cool way, if you're a Ticats fan, to be a part of Tim Hortons Field forever. Will, appreciate you coming on today, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for the time, and appreciate all the support from the fans.
That was Will K. An awesome way to etch your name in Ticats history forever, and rightfully so. This organization wouldn't be a success without the season ticket holders. The CFL Combine got underway today also, starting at 3 o'clock with the bench press, and tonight, everyone's favorite event, the 40-yard dash, starts at 8 o'clock. So if you want to tune into that, you can check it out on CFL Plus. I'll have all those top results for you on tomorrow's show. But that's all the time for me today. I want to thank you for tuning in to Ticats Today.